Today's training is all about managing distractions and training your staff, two critically important areas for navigating the modern medical system and getting your life back from your career. This was a private training recorded for our MD Can Help coaching clients, but I wanted to publish it here and make it available to you because of how beneficial I know it will be. If you want more trainings like this, please comment below and let me know. Enjoy! In this lesson, we'll look at managing distractions and training your staff. Now, I'm imagining that your clinical days are full of distractions. Texts, pages, emails, interruptions by your staff, forms that need to be filled out, callbacks from patients who are only available right then, callbacks from colleagues. And I'm sure I'm missing a lot of categories as well. And so one thing that's critical for building your charting efficiency is really gaining some mastery over the plethora of distractions that occur in any given day. So I want to go over some of the tips that I've found really helpful in the physicians that I've coached that have really helped them build their charting efficiency. So the first is to train your staff. To train your staff that for you to be productive, for you to get everything done that you need, that your patients need, and that they need as well, you need to minimize distractions. One thing that I recommend is having an open door and closed door policy. In other words, I've had so many physicians tell me, well, I can't get anything done because the minute I start focusing on a difficult chart, that's when my MA knocks on the door. So what I mean by an open door and a closed door policy is training your staff that you are fully available to them. They have a lot of needs. They have a lot of questions for you, a lot of things that they need you to get done to be efficient in their day. But it's not that you can be available every moment that you're there in the office, either in person or certainly even in the time of telehealth. So you need to train them that to be most available for them and to help them function well in their capacities. And for all of you as a team, when your door is open, that's the time that you're available. But when your door is closed, what that means is that you are dictating or typing a chart or calling somebody important back, or perhaps just taking a breather and having a bite to eat or something to drink. So there's nothing wrong with training staff. They'll get used to whatever habits and routines you tell them to get used to. If you're somebody who's constantly available, well, why shouldn't they just come and interrupt you? So we want our staff to group their demands and their questions and to prioritize. Obviously, if there's a patient urgency or emergency, you're going to make yourself available. But barring that, you need your staff to understand that this is what it takes to have a smooth running office. Now, in terms of distractions, I want to encourage you to have set times that you check your email. It's a constant invasion on our time. And you may be aware of a prominent business book that came out a few years back called The One Thing by Gary Keeler. This was a bestseller, and it was a bestseller for a good reason. The more we can focus on the one thing that we have to get done, just that one thing, the more we will be efficient in our days. And why a whole book had to be devoted to focusing on the one thing? Well, I guess it's because we all live with a lot of distractions and we get pulled here, there, and everywhere. And every time you get pulled away from getting the task done, you are wasting precious seconds and minutes of time that you really don't have to be devoting on all of these tasks. There's a lot at stake here. I want you to be efficient, not just to be efficient, but so that you can have the life you've worked so hard to have, because I know that's what you deserve. So the one thing, whether it's the chart, getting it done before you go to the next patient, because that is vitally important for your efficiency, or if it's calling a particular patient back. So that's one way to minimize distractions. I think it's also very important to only check our email a couple of times a day. That's also true for social media. It's terrible because we know the addictive quality of social media, and I think email as well. Many of us thrive as caregivers on that sense of being needed. That's part of our role and part of what we learn to be rewarded for. So there's a psychological element. There's probably a dopamine release each time we kind of check on something and we think, oh, yeah, I helped somebody. But we have to learn to work with that. Again, with mindfulness, we get to know these patterns of mind. And what's important about that is once we get to know them, once we diagnose them in a sense, then we can intervene and work with them. So, very important for you to train your staff around distractions. Again, making it clear that you are there for your staff, that all of you work together toward the needs of your patient panel. You're not doing anything wrong by setting those limits with your staff, but it is vitally important for your efficiency that you cut down on these distractions and you work with your staff so that all of you can function at the highest level. This is an issue around safety and patient safety and avoiding medical errors as well. If you Google physician distractions, sadly, you will see some studies that look at correlation, positive correlation between distractions and medical errors. So patient safety requires that you focus on the one thing that is in front of you and you tune out all of those other distractions. So I want you to take the time to really perhaps even watch this video a second time. Again, many of us learn that we have to be available, that if we set limits, somehow we'll make people upset or they won't like us. And yet, I think you're hearing in this course that because there is only one of you, and because your time is your precious commodity, we have to set limits. We have to set those boundaries with our staff. It is critically important. And so I really want to affirm your right to do this and really encourage you to move forward on these tips.